Hello everybody! Today's video is about chemtrails. The chemtrail theory is a typical conspiracy theory. A secretive elite ensures that the biggest secret project takes its course. Aircraft spraying accordingly on behalf of states, chemicals to modify weather and climate, to poison people or otherwise to influence world events. The term chemtrails refers to long-lasting and sometimes in grids occurring contrails. Contrails are line-shaped clouds sometimes produced by aircraft engines. About the composition of chemtrails, there is no unity among the followers, but mostly are barium or aluminium compounds as ingredients mentioned. The basis of this conspiracy theory applied in the mid-1990s due to speculations that the Air Force of the US planned weather modification and military use of contrails. The Air Force itself called the chemtrail conspiracy a hoax, which, amongst other things, was a reaction on a then-released strategy paper, Weather as a Force Multiplier Owning the Weather in 2025, without complying to actual military plans or skills. Now we know where this theory came from and what it is about, so let's take a closer look into it and why it is bullshit. First, we talk about the definition of chemtrails and how believers of the theory can tell one from a contrail apart. They think that contrails dissipate in minutes while chemtrails stay for longer in the atmosphere. That's simply not true. The spread form and speed and durability of the contrails depends on factors such as temperature, local wind speed and humidity. They may be visible for only a few seconds or minutes, or may persist for hours and spread to be several miles wide, resembling natural cirrus or altocumulus clouds. This has nothing to do with the supposed chemicals in contrails. Sometimes it can even be that several planes crossing on the same route, apparently at the same height in the sky, but only one will leave a long-lasting contrail. This may be due to different efficient engines, among other things. Newer aircrafts produce contrails rather due to cooler gases than old. By the way, long-lasting contrails are nothing new. There are plenty of pictures on the internet of World War II bombers turning the sky white with persistent contrails. Next problem with this theory is that it makes no sense to spray anything from planes that high, because anything released at 30,000 feet will blow for miles away from where you are, and has virtually no chance of settling straight down onto the people or ground. And be so diluted it would have no measurable amount of the chemical by the time it lands. That's why crop dusting planes must fly barely 30 feet off the ground so their dust won't blow too far away from the crops. Millions of pilots would be needed to crop dust the American population. A typical crop duster might use 7 ounces of agent diluted in 7 gallons of water to cover 1 acre of land. Chemtrail people dusters would use a similar concentration to cover the entire United States, just to be safe. For 2.38 billion acres of land, the pilots would then need, for just 1 week of spraying, 120 billion gallons of these chemicals. And such a huge amount of agent would need an incredible number of planes. Considering that a large air freighter like a Boeing 747 can carry around 250,000 pounds of cargo, at the very least the government would need 4 million 747 flights to spread their chemicals. 18 times more flights per day than in the entire US. Then there are various, sometimes contradictory and technically not conclusive explanations to the technical requirements of chemtrails. According to one variant, chemicals are added to aircraft fuel, but that would make a distribution of polymers, microbial or pharmaceutically active substances impossible, as these would be destroyed in the combustion chambers of the engines. The distribution of pure metallic or mineral substances in this way would, however, lead to a high wear on the turbine blades of the jet engines and destroy them. Another one is based on a distribution of the substances with on-build sprayers, but secret flaps or sprays would be discovered by the pre-flight inspection by service personnel and crew. I highly doubt that all of them are part of this conspiracy. And that's another point of this theory. If such a huge conspiracy really existed and every country in the world, every military and commercial aircraft in the world and every atmospheric scientist in the world is part of the conspiracy, why has it not leaked by now? The bigger the conspiracy, the more likely it is to be exposed. Yet the chemtrails conspiracy involves the entire planet and many governments and organizations who are bitter enemies and would love to expose the wrongdoing of their opponents. But that never happened. It all makes no sense. This whole chemtrail theory is just complete nonsense. And since we all breathe the same air and eat the same food, what prevents all the people involved in this conspiracy from getting affected by this chemical? Are they immune to chemtrails or the involved chemicals? I don't think so. And with that we reached the end of today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye bye and stay tuned.